heck yeah. It is a Wednesday night, and it is right. Oh, I got the wrong frame. It's right down the middle with Bill Alfonso, Fonzie, and me. So here, I got to switch it around. There we go. Wow. Can't believe I did that. But Fonzie, welcome to your show. It wasn't one of a kind with RVD. It is right down the middle with Bill Alfonso.
That's right, Daddy. Thanks, Dominic, for being a great host with me, Daddy. And I'm looking forward to another great podcast with you guys. Thank you so much. Last week we had close to 8,000 viewers, and that was pleasantly surprising to me. And I'm flattered by you guys listening to me talk smack on my podcast. Very cool. Thank you so much, guys.
Absolutely. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We're already at 200 and something viewers tuning in right now. So, and we're growing. So you can't beat that. We're live. We're taking questions. So if you want to get your questions in, you can either go to rvdtv.com or onetruesporttv.com, and you can pop in a question, ask a question. If you definitely want a question answered, use the super chat. That helps out the show. And it gets the word out about stuff. And we got a lot of fun stuff to talk about. Shout out to some folks in here. Triple E. Yes, RVD will be tomorrow night. We're going to go live tomorrow on RVD's channel again.
Yes, I don't miss RVDs ever.
Heck yeah. It's a great show. Me and Rob have a good time. We have some fun stuff maybe planned for tomorrow, too. So stay tuned on that. Got a shout out to Devin Dowling, who tunes into my daily wrestling show. So good to see you, Devin. And then Scotty Beach, RKO Bear, where's RVD? That's tomorrow. That is tomorrow.
That's tomorrow night, Daddy. Don't miss it.
Don't miss it. Don't miss it. But Fonzie, how you doing? It's been a couple of weeks since we last recorded. And how's everything? How's life in Tampa? How's everything going on down there?
The weather's been fantastic. I got this weekend off, and next weekend I start going back on the road. We had a 3-day tour in Pennsylvania with Sandman, Todd Gordon, and Pitbull. Oh, but speaking of Pitbull, he is running a show January 25th in the Tampa Bay area in Spring Hill. It's going to be very exciting. They're just putting it together. We got sponsors. There's all kind of stuff going on. I'm going to be on it. I got some classic new guys coming out. Thanks to Paulie, the promoter, who's busting his ass getting sponsors and getting the show together. So I'll give you guys an update as time goes by. But it's January 25th, a live show in Tampa. I'm at Tampa Bay, Spring Hill, right outside of Tampa. I'm looking forward to that. Let's see what else I got going. Got a Canadian tour going. Got put on delay for a minute, but that's the one. I got a call from the UK. Might be going there. Ooh. And I've been a few times to the UK, and I love that area. Oh, I went with last time I was there, I did 5 countries and 7 cities in 7 days. Yokozuna and Hulk Hogan were on top, and I will call it right down to the refereeing, Daddy. It was great. Love the UK.
That's got to be that. Man, what a matchup to call, like, to referee, too. Yokozuna and Hulk.
Right, and Yokozuna was huge. He was big, but, man, for a big man, he sure could move, you know.
Couldn't he?
Yoko, Bam Bam Bigelow, One Man Gang, my favorite 3 big guys.
Yeah.
Go.
You cannot beat that. Hey, how did Hogan like working with you as a referee? Like,
he loved me. He loved me. Hey, we got a lot in common. We both broke in Tampa Bay here, Florida Tipsy Wrestling with Dusty, Gordon Soley, and Eddie Graham, and so on. Our birthdays are August 11th. We got a lot clicking, man. He's just a couple minutes older than me. But we got that same era, you know. They broke him in Tampa. You know, they stretched him really good. They tried to discourage you. Back in the day, it was really hard to break into the business. Now it's relatively easy. But they tried to discourage him. They broke his left leg. Jack Briscoe gave him his first pair of boots. And Jack Briscoe is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. So Hogan, we get along real well. And remember, I was a top-notch international referee. And we're both from the same Tampa Bay. You know, he went to Plant, and I went to Hillsborough High School. So we had a lot going on. So we like each other because of that. Plus, we're great professionalism shows in the ring. You know, we're trained by the best, and we got that old school mentality. And of course, there's only one Hulk Hogan. Hey, so And he's the biggest name ever in the wrestling business. I mean, The Rock's big, Coach Stone, and all that. They're all big. But when I go to my wife's a nurse, my tall, good-looking blonde Hungarian wife, beautiful, tall blonde. So anyway, we go to a Christmas party, and I'm at the party with a bunch of doctors and everybody and shit. And finally, everybody's relaxed, having cocktails and talking. And finally, they come up to me and say, "Oh, Fonzie, what do you do for a living?" And I say, "Well, I'm in the sports entertainment business." I don't say wrestling, I say, "I'm in the sports entertainment." They say, "Well, what's the sports entertainment business?" I say, you know, I say one name. I don't say Ric Flair or Dusty or nothing against those guys. I say one name and they get exactly what I say. "What do you do for a living?" I say, "Sports entertainment." "What's that?" I say, Hulk Hogan. And everybody gets it. Everybody knows that now. It's a household name. So I love Hulk Hogan, and he likes me really. He likes me a lot. We're good together. We're good in the ring.
Absolutely. Um, what was I gonna ask too? Something about Hogan. Something that was I thought was yeah. The neat thing of the crazy thing about so wait, you and Hogan were you both born on the exact same day, or were you like a year
Yeah, no.
apart?
August 11th is our birthday. August 11th. Yeah,
Wow, that's crazy.
he's a couple years older than me, so
Oh, a
he
couple
might
years
have been
older.
born
Okay.
like
Yeah.
55 or 54 or something.
Yeah.
I was born in 1957.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, he was born in 53 because he's the same age as my dad. So
Okay, yep.
Mhm.
So he's like 70-ish.
yeah,
70.
70. He's gonna be 70. I think he's 71. He's 71 right
Yeah, and he looks great like I do. I do well for my age. I look good. And Hogan looks fucking phenomenal. He looks great. I run into him at the airport or I run into him at his place. He's got karaoke every Monday night. I go down there and sing a little bit and, stuff. Hogan's Hulk Hogan, Daddy.
now. Heck yeah. I mean, yeah. Clearwater down there, that's his stomping grounds for sure.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, it's some pretty good stuff. But oh, Liam Evans, who's from the UK, he wanted to know where are you going to be at in the UK? Do you know exactly yet,
I'm
Fonzie?
not sure. I just got the phone call, so we're negotiating now. But so I thought it was somewhere in England. I'm not sure. It's not too far. I would fly into London, he said.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if they're going to put us on a bus and go to a couple of different cities. I'm not sure. We're just negotiating. I just got the phone call like 2 days ago, and they want Rob on the tour too.
Oh, do they really? Ooh.
Yeah, well, they called me about Rob. And they said, "Oh, you're included too, Fonzie." I said, "Okay, great." So
Boy, what a trip that would be. That would be a hell of a trip.
yeah, yeah, it's just 3 or 4 days or whatever it is.
Yeah. No, you can't beat that. Can't beat that. So
Yeah.
uh tonight, guys, our focus is so we covered so much ground last week. My plan was to talk a little bit of Dusty Rhodes, and I think we covered two Dusty Rhodes questions. So we got some good stuff to talk about this week when it comes to Dusty. But I Fonzie, is it true? So I think I saw something around. Were you with the Costco guys? Am I mistaken by that? Oh, look at that picture. Hold on a second. Boom. Well, that's a great photo, Fonzie.
Yeah, I'm probably 21 years old. It's early 1980 or something like that. I just got hired by Florida Championship Wrestling as a referee. Um, yeah,
Man, that's
early
good stuff.
80s. Yeah, very early 80s.
That's really good stuff,
And
man.
here's another good picture of my dear friend who we just passed, Kevin Sullivan. God
Yeah,
bless him. Was a really good friend, and we talked a couple of times a month from 1980 till the day he passed.
wow, wow,
We talked.
man.
They had a good run, Dusty and Kevin Sullivan. Man, I think we had uh, 36 weeks of sellouts. And
Dang,
it has slacked off a little bit just for a minute, but 36 weeks sold out every city in Florida. We're just running, Florida was a territory. Monday night was West Palm. Tampa was Tuesday night. Wednesday, we would tape TV and Miami Beach Convention Center every Wednesday. Thursday was Jacksonville. Friday and Saturday could be a spot show. Could be anywhere, Bayfront Center. It could be a high school and somewhere or whatever. And then Sunday, Orlando. It repeat itself week after week, month after month, year after year. And so we did 36 weeks with this angle with Kevin and Dusty.
Wow, you can't beat that.
Yep, and I was the referee.
Man.
You see Fonzie back there?
Yeah, absolutely.
I was young and beautiful.
That's great stuff, Fonzie. I know Devin likes the stash you had back then, the mustache.
Oh yeah, I had a little fro going, natural fro.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, so I got to work a lot with all the big stars from Bruno San Martino when I broke in Florida. Florida was a hotbed of wrestling, so we'd have our own guys in the territory like Barry Windham and stuff like that. But then the champion would come in for the week and fight our big star and go around the loop and make the star. And of course, I was refereeing. There's Barry Windham and Ric Flair.
Is that Tully in the back too? Is that Tully in the background?
No, that's Raul Mata.
Raul Mata. Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah, Raul Mata, Mexican superstar back in the day.
Wow. Look at that. That's a great photo too.
Oh yeah, I got tons. Oh my goodness, I got tons of photos. Like this is Harley Race. You can't see him. I got the other half where this picture got cut out. That's Harley Race. And
yeah.
That this is a belt. That's the world NWA world title. But of course, this is a replica. Harley Race gave this to me. I think I mentioned that before on our podcast. Somebody had it made for Harley Race, and Harley gave it to me that night. And I cherish this belt. If you offered me $20,000, I couldn't sell it. Man, it's not worth 20 grand, but it's worth a couple grand. But I wouldn't sell it because Harley Race gave me this belt.
Yeah, right. One of the greatest ever to do it. So.
Oh yeah, badass.
Right. I know. I remember hearing. I think it was so. Everybody always asked who Terry Funk thought was the greatest wrestler of all time, and he always said it was his brother Dory, but he also says Harley Race because Harley Race would beat him up if he didn't say it was Harley Race.
Right, Harley Race was a tough guy, and what a champion, man! He was badass.
Yeah,
and Dory was another kind of champion. He used to wrestle his ass off, and they used to do 1 hour Broadways all the time, 1 hour time limits. And they would wrestle the 1 hour, and it'd be a draw. But the belt remains to the champion because it was a draw. And I used to get frustrated. I said, damn, we're going to wrestle for an hour? That's a long time. He said, Fonzie, just have 4 15-minute matches in the hour and it'll go by quick. So I said, damn, that's good. That's good to know. So I'd have a 15-minute match in my mind, boom, and then go to the next 15, and the match would be the 1 hour Broadway and be over like that. So good advice from Dory Funk. He used to throw those European uppercuts.
Yeah.
I love those. Dory Funk's one of, Dominic, it's hard to pick out your favorite wrestlers, because I've worked with so many talented guys, from Ernie Ladd to, Dusty to Eddie, Mil Mascaras, Bobo Brazil, the Sheik. All these guys were retiring or in the last leg of their career when I was breaking in. So I got to work with all these guys, man. Mil Mascaras never took his mask off, even in the shower. Like I remember after the matches, we were in the Miami Beach Convention Center, and they have a nice facility there. Everybody takes showers because they got to drive home or they fly out the next day or whatever. Mil Mascaras never took off his mask, even in the shower,
That's awesome. I love that.
Pretty cool.
Man. Well, that's a neat thing too. So I was backstage at MLW a couple years ago.
Oh, and I've been working for them lately. I work for MLW.
Yeah. And La Parka was backstage.
Oh,
and
I remember
he did not take his mask off either. And I was like, that's
right.
Yeah. I love that. I think that's so old school and cool, and like
absolutely old school.
That's awesome. Well, man, yeah, it's so fascinating because you name all these names that you've, like, everybody knows you as the manager of RVD and Sabu and Taz and everything like that. But it's like, to peel back the page and know that you worked in Florida and you refereed all these matches and worked with legends like Terry Funk, like Mil Mascaras, like Antonio Inoki. It's just like you were in the ring with so many different types of wrestlers, and like that's such a
Giant
fascinating.
Baba from Japan,
Yeah.
they don't like to take referees to Japan. They have their own referees, but I was fortunate enough to be invited several times to referee matches in Japan. Hiro Matsuda, who was part owner of Florida Championship Wrestling. We might have covered this before one of
That's
the
okay. Yeah.
podcasts, but
Go
it's
over it again.
Hiro Matsuda is one of the owners of Florida Championship Wrestling, and after a while, he loved me because I was a good referee and so on and so on. So uh, they had a big joint show. The Japanese office and NWA had a joint show, and it was Fujinami against Ric Flair in the main event in front of 65,000 people at the Tokyo Dome. And guess who they wanted to be the special guest referee? Me. I got chosen by, uh, so that was very flattering and very cool. And that's how I ended up going to WCW from that match.
Really?
Yep, Dusty was the booker in WCW, and I did an outstanding job. And I think I mentioned that I had the Japanese flag. Let's see here, they got the picture somewhere. And the Japanese flag and the American flag sewn on. My white shirt with a bow tie. My hair was beautiful. I had a brand new designer shirt on. I looked like $1 million. And I did spectacular. It was a great because the referee took a bump and it was a long, complicated finish, and I did my end perfectly. So did they, of course. And Dusty, after the match, he said, Fonzie, baby. So I didn't have a contract with WCW yet. He said, Fonzie, baby, it's going to happen for you, baby. It's going to happen for you. He said, I'm going to have Jody Hamilton was in the
Yeah.
office there, Nick Patrick's dad.
Yeah.
So, it's it's gonna happen for you, baby. I'm gonna have Jody call you, baby. And fuck, we got home 2 days later. My phone rings, says Jody Hamilton.
Wow.
So Fonzie, can you start on this date? I said, absolutely. Then I got a full time contract, got 6-figure contract that day. They started paying me. You get paid bi-weekly. You get a check bi-weekly, not direct deposit. You get a check in the mail.
Yeah. Yeah.
Back then, this I'm talking about 91 or whatever it was. So I got my first check in the mail, and uh, it was big, and I didn't want to cash it. I was scared. I said, "Man, these guys overpaid me or something because I never got a check this big." And so I took it to Dusty, and he said, "Oh, Fonzie, baby, you make way more money than that. You way more money." I was making mid, 6 figures. I couldn't believe it.
Wow. Man,
Fantastic.
that Ted Turner money, huh?
Oh yeah, man, Ted Turner. We worked for it because we were working 7 to 10 days on the road and 3 days off. 7 days on the road, 3 days off. 7 to 10 days on the road, no less than seven, no more than 10. Then you get 3 days off. And we were going from all over the freaking planet.
Yeah.
So the road was wearing you out. Plus you wrestle, you're in the ring. Uh, so man, you had to be tough. You had to be on your A game. It took me a minute to get used to it, but I sure did. Didn't never late, and showed up looking like $1 million because I don't have blonde hair and I don't have 23-inch pythons. So I'm an average 165-pound guy. So I can't walk in into Madison Square Gardens with a pair of jeans and Converse and a T-shirt on. I look like the fucking audience. So and I changed the dress code. Vince
Yeah.
McMahon liked me so much, I changed the dress code. So I walk in Madison Square. It's my first time going to Madison Square. WCW didn't cover Madison Square because Vince got that locked in. So I
Absolutely.
walk in with my fucking nice, beautiful luggage. I got a Submariner on, beautiful. My hair looks like I got a suit on, beautiful. So I don't look like the audience. I look like
Right.
somebody. I look like somebody. Hey, dude, this guy, I don't know, he's a wrestler, but he's fucking somebody because appearance is everything.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
I had to sell myself that way.
Yep. No doubt about that, man. Yeah. No, it's like to where you've been and that all that this different things that you've done. It's kind of neat how all that kind of works out. And like Dusty's just been a huge part of that. Was a huge part of that for you all.
Yeah, Dusty was a godsend for me, and I certainly miss him. And I seen Dustin about a month or two ago at one of these conventions. He came right up to me, hugged me, put me over, says, "Fonzie," I said, "Yeah, you dad, it was so good to me. I said to Dusty one time, I said, I wish you were my father. And he says, I am your father's son. I am your, and I told Dustin that story. Uh, and I seen Michelle. We have a luncheon down here in Tampa Bay. Since so many of us live here, we have a luncheon every couple of months. And Michelle came to one of the luncheons and she didn't talk to no. She walked in and the place was packed. Finally, so the wrestling fans got wind of the luncheon and they started showing up. So now we have that luncheon, then we have a private luncheon, wrestlers only. But Michelle walks in, Dusty's wife walks in, and there's 500 people in this big Irish pub, and she walked in and she started asking for Fonzie. Where's Fonzie? She wouldn't talk to anybody until she found me and hugged and kissed me up and all that. And she knows how close I was to Dusty, and you know I sure do miss him. He died young too. Damn it.
He did man, he did. It's I've got to meet Michelle in passing just a couple of times, and she was such a nice lady and
Sweetheart,
really
sweetheart.
sweet person. And yeah, it was, and you can tell like she's got a good energy about her too, and that's really,
Yeah,
really nice.
yeah, and she don't forget. She don't
No,
forget. And I was very happy when I seen her walk in, and they told me she was coming, so I couldn't wait to see her. But I didn't know she was so intended to see me.
yeah, that's pretty awesome.
She was
Well,
big now.
I said this before on the show. Like, you could tell during when Fonzie got inducted into the Cauliflower Alley Club reunion as a referee. Everybody loved Fonzie, like big time. So he was the star of the show right there, no doubt. Look at that. Yes, that was over the summer here. They had the Cauliflower Alley reunion, and Fonzie got the referee award. Is it what did
Yeah, I'm so proud of this because my peers gave it to me. The fans didn't vote me in. They didn't, my peers voted me in.
Yeah.
Well, that meant more to me than uh, that meant more to me than this. Let's see. I got and I got my Sports Wrestling Illustrated 1997. Now you got to remember there was WCW,
Yep.
there was WWF, and there was ECW. So they had managers up the ass in those three companies. And guess who they inducted into the Manager of the Year 1997? Not from WWF, not from WCW, where all the big money is. They inducted me, Bill Alfonso, Manager of the Year,
Heck
when they
yeah.
had all those other managers and valets and so on and so on. And we were competing with the big companies, multi-billion-dollar companies, and they give it to us, the little old company that push and push and push, and. So that was very flattering. But this means more to me, the Cauliflower Alley, because of my peers.
Yeah. Yeah. And it just recognizes you for, and that's not even a manager award. That's a referee award.
Right,
Which is awesome.
right.
And how cool is that? So,
Very cool.
yeah.
Very
Right.
cool. I'm very proud of that.
When you got the manager of the year award from PWI, what was that process like? Did they just call you on the phone? Do you remember how that went down exactly, or
Yeah, I
was it?
think Bill Apter called me.
Uh
Bill
huh.
Apter called me, and I know Bill for years from, I think his parents or somebody, his family lived in West Palm Beach, and we ran West Palm Beach every Monday for years and years, and he would be there quite a bit. He was a photographer for the magazines and editor and a big shot in the magazine. And I think he contacted me and said, Fonzie, we're going to induct you, give you the manager of the year, and, over WCW, over WWF. And there's a little bit of a process. And we took pictures and all that. He came to one of the shows and presented me with the plaque and all that. Was very cool. And I'm very grateful for that. Don't let me push the Cauliflower Alley down your throat, because I'm proud of that. But I'm just as proud as 1997, the magazine, and manager of the year. That's very flattering, especially when competing with the billion-dollar companies.
That's it. And you
You
think about it
know,
too, it's just like to get recognized as a referee, but also your work as a manager. It's just like it's an accreditation to what you've done in the business and how you've helped out the business. And you look at it, I think that one, that 1997 Manager of the Year award, is really special. So for the fact too, like kind of what you mentioned, is like you're going up against WCW, you're going up against WWE, but
right?
ECW was such a rising company at the time, and you helped to elevate like RVD and Sabu at that time, two of the hottest stars that were really cutting their teeth and making their names known in that like outlaw brand almost of
Well,
ECW.
evidently I did, because we got so many. We got so much
Yeah.
notoriety. You know,
Hmm.
for the magazines and so on, and it's a shame that we didn't last longer, but it was meant to be. And still, ECW has a cult like following. That's why I'm still so relevant today. The referee for 25 years before I got into ECW was, still takes precedent over a lot of things. But um, being out of ECW with that cult like following, that's, people want to see me, and I'm more recognized from ECW than any other thing. So for some reason, I'm still relevant today, and I'm getting booked all over the world still. It's been very flattering and very cool. I do all kind of conventions and stuff like that. And still on, I got hundreds of magazines, and I'm on the covers, and I'm in the magazines because, refereeing, and now ECW, of course, which is very cool. Uh, yeah, man, I'm happy as hell.
Heck
My
yeah,
career turned out to be pretty damn good.
I can't blame you there, Fonzie. Definitely can't blame you there. Um, Guys, if you have a question, feel free to use the super chat. I encourage you guys, if you're tuning in live on Twitter, either go to onetruesporttv.com. That's onetruesporttv.com, or go to rvdtv.com. Both those are YouTube channels. You can like, subscribe, share, get the word out, and you'll get clips from RVD's show. And if you subscribe to One True Sport TV, you'll get some live streaming stuff that we always do. We always go live on there with Arn Anderson, Magnum TA, Greg Gagne.
I love Orrin Anderson. There's
Arn's
another
awesome.
picture of the dream.
Yeah, there's the dream right there. Check it. Oh, that's a great photo, Fonzie. I love that one. I
So
think.
the reason I'm in so many photos is because, I was the referee. I was in the ring.
Yeah.
So uh, I got so much exposure in so many magazines. My God, look at this one.
Heck yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a great one. That polarizing match: Bruiser Brody defeating Lex Luger via
Yeah,
disqualification.
that's epic showdown right there. There's a lot more than just wrestling match that went on that night.
Oh yeah. Holy smokes. Yeah.
I've been asking a lot of questions about that. Hey, what happened in the Bruiser Brody Lex Luger cage match? What happened? What's your take on it? Fonzie? I give him my take. It's a little different from Lex Luger's, but
Yeah. Hey,
uh,
we'll make an episode where we cover that. We'll just
yeah,
that'll
we
be our
can do.
focus.
Yeah,
That one.
yeah.
Do that one for sure.
Here's that. Still, Harley's in the picture,
Yeah.
but it's not a great picture of me and Harley. I got the full
Oh, there
picture
it is.
somewhere.
Yeah.
I was just looking forward to, so I can show you the belt and stuff. But
Yeah. Heck yeah.
uh,
But no, hey, real quick, I wanted to ask. You mentioned, the fact that you wanted to stick around with RVD and Sabu a little bit longer, manage them a little bit longer. Was there anybody else that you were seeing in ECW at the time that you had been like, oh man, I really would like to manage that person, and I could help that person out? Was there another talent that really caught your eye that you didn't get to manage that you was really interesting to you?
no, just Taz. They put me with Taz at the beginning. I was supposed to come in for 4 weeks, so I
Yep.
just left WWF. Right?
Hmm.
I was and back then we would tape 3 weeks of TV, one live show. It was live, WWF Monday Night Raw, and I was on the first Monday Night Raw. I think I've told you this,
Yep.
broadcasted. The first ever Monday Night Raw. I was on it refereeing with Shawn Michaels and dropped the strap to I'll think of his name in a minute, another big superstar. Uh so what was I saying? Let's see.
So you were
Monday Night Raw, we would tape one live show broadcast, and then we'd stay there and tape 2 more hours for the next Monday Night Raw. So then my contract was up, and I was finished with WWF. My contract ran out, and so I get a phone call from Paul Heyman. Says, "Hey, Paul," and I helped Paul. I was very instrumental, and
in Florida.
yeah, there he is, right there. Yeah, he just got the power slam by
Scott
Scott
Hall,
Hall, and
my
I'm
favorite.
helping him up and stuff. So I was the assistant booker back then. And Paulie came up to me, and he came down with Tombstone and said, "Hey, Fonzie, do you think I can go to the ring and manage Tombstone?" I said, "Yeah, you can't wear those jeans and those faded ass Converse and a T-shirt. Can he come up with a suit?" I didn't know his parents were wealthy. Scarsdale dad was a lawyer, and so on and so on. So he came to the ring with a suit on, beautiful, and for the next 2 weeks, Tombstone was leaving, so he managed Tombstone and got choke slam, and he never forgot it. Was grateful for me. So anyway, so I get a phone call, and it's Paul Heyman. He says, "Fonzie, you just left WWF, and I have this company called ECW." I said, "What the fuck's an ECW? What is that?" He said, "Well, because I've never worked for an indie or outlaw show or any kind of show, but mainstream, Florida wrestling, WCW, Ted Turner, Vince McMahon, WrestleMania, and so on." Uh, he said, "I have this idea of, since you're fresh out of WWF, and we're this company, a new company, we're real hardcore, extreme, and this and that. We want to bring in for 4 weeks, and you be anti ECW. You want it to be like sports entertainment, like Vince is, and people gonna hate you." And they did. They hated me for trying to be anti ECW. And so 4 weeks goes by, and I was supposed to get choke slammed by 911, and I was finished.
Yeah,
That was my deal. So my gimmick got over Paul had to, so he put me with Taz, because we've talked about this, I'm sure. So Taz had 4 or 5 gimmicks before he became Taz. He was Monkey Boy, he was Tasmania, he was this or that. Never really got over until he became himself, Taz. So they put us together, and boy, it took off really good. I never managed anybody. I was a referee for all the years, so but anyway, Taz could do promos just really good, so he really didn't need me. So they put me with Sabu, who didn't talk, and it worked out fucking fantastic. Uh, and then with Van Dam, and I had my 5-year run. So looking at the other guys, I really didn't even branch out and think of anybody else. I would, if Paul Heyman said, "Hey, man, is Bam Bam Bigelow?" Of course, yes, but not necessary. I was very content and very good with my spot with Van Dam and Sabu.
yeah. I mean,
So I never even thought about managing anybody else.
yeah, that's okay. That's interesting, because I was curious about that when you were mentioning like how like you wish you had a longer run with those guys together. But I was like, wow, I wonder if he had anybody else in mind too. But that's awesome.
Well, the company shut down. Vince bought
Yeah,
us out, and so we would have gone on for as long as the company was there, as long as Van Dam was there and Sabu was there. I would have. But when Van Dam went to WWF, they didn't take me.
yeah.
There was no room. I wasn't in the budget, and so on and so on. But they did use me quite a bit. And they still use me. I'm in their wellness program. After all these years, I'm in there. They have a wellness program. I'm a part of that. And any extra thing where they need a ref, or like they had this thing, it was a tug of war between the bodybuilders and WWF wrestlers
Hmm.
at Busch Gardens, at a big tourist thing, Busch Gardens. And they called me and said, "Hey, Fonzie, we want you to referee this, tug of war between the bodybuilders, I mean, the legitimate bodybuilders, uh, and the WWF superstars." And, so I still do stuff like that for them on occasions.
Yeah, that's cool. So, and
Yeah.
it would be
Yeah.
neat to get you involved. I know they've been really more immersive with filming documentaries and certain things like that where
Yes.
they cover things. And so it'd be kind of neat to get you involved with some of that stuff, I'm sure, because I mean, the perspective you can give, not just on ECW stuff, but obviously like Dusty Rhodes and Florida Championship
My
Wrestling.
name might come up one day for a documentary. I'm
Yeah.
sure, when they think about it, I might, they might say, hey, let's do something with Fonzie.
Yeah.
And not be the star of the documentary, but be a big part of it.
Yeah. Be a
I
part
can
of it.
fill in a lot of blanks, and I'm well liked in the business. So,
Absolutely. Yeah, I did 100%. That's true too. Did you get to see too? Did you see any of that NXT that they did with in the ECW arena where that Rob was at?
no, but I heard all about it. I heard
Yeah.
all about it. I heard it was very successful, and I was doing something else, but I would have broke my, I would have went there if they would have called me.
Yeah. Oh
But
man.
maybe the next one.
It was such a cool environment there. I got to go and check it out, and they did a nice job of incorporating a lot of the ECW stars. Rob obviously was there. We had Bubba Ray Dudley there. There was also I was a huge mark for Little Guido Nunzio.
Yeah, I
Uh,
love little
so-
Guido.
I do too.
He still looks great. He looks
He looks
great.
amazing. He looks amazing, and he wrestled. He wrestled on the show, so it was awesome to see him do that. Rhino was there as well. Don Marie, Francine. Trying to think.
Rhino's another one of the best big men in the business. He's a big kid. Rhino's not a small guy. He's big and he can go.
Fonzie, that's one of who I was going to ask you about was Rhino, because I was thinking in the back of my head, man, Fonzie would have been a good manager for Rhino too if it ended up being like
Yeah.
that, you know what I
We
mean?
would have fit together perfect.
Yeah, yeah. What stood out to you about Rhino that you like a lot?
Well, just very sincere about the business, very smart about the business. He's a little quiet, so don't let that quietness fool you. Because
Yeah,
he was badass in the ring. He could take shots, give shots, never complain. Big competitor, wanted everything to be, really legit in the ring. Carried himself really well. Well liked in the dressing room. Just a really good all around professional athlete. He was freaking fantastic and that's what I want to surround myself with. I don't want to surround myself by fucking guys that are halfway there and they think they're Hulk Hogan or, they let it go to the head like they're ultimate warrior. Though he was ultimate warrior, you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
God bless him, and he was the ultimate warrior. But things go to people's heads sometimes.
Absolutely. No, and Rhino seems like such a humble dude, and like, uh,
Very humble.
yeah, and he's. I remember too, like it was at the end of ECW when he was the ECW champion. I think he was the last champion, as a matter of fact.
I think so too.
Yeah, and it was just like, but he fit that mold. I like believed every bit of it too. That I was like, yeah, he's totally the ECW champion, and I
Yeah,
think
he was a legit. They couldn't have picked a better champ. He
I
carried that
agree.
belt really well.
Absolutely. I thought he was awesome and just really neat. And he just got inducted into the TNA Hall of Fame, I know too, as well. And so I'm very happy for he's on my bucket list interview as well. I haven't gotten a chance to speak with him yet.
Oh
But
yeah,
hopefully.
super guy. You have a good time with him on the
Yeah,
interview.
I know. He was telling a neat story too about he was on Briscoe and Bradshaw, and he was telling a story about how Paul Heyman really
Oh
liked him.
boy.
Yeah, Paul Heyman really liked him. And then he said, he was like, oh, yeah, I got my start with Jim Cornette and everything like that. And he's like, well, you are one thing that we have in common that we both like you. Because I guess Paul Heyman and Cornette didn't get along back then. But I thought,
Right, Daddy?
yeah.
Yeah. I love Jim Cornette. Boy, he's got a mouth on him and he don't pull back nothing, does he?
No, not at all. He doesn't.
And he's legitimate. If anybody can talk like that, he can because he's been around the business for as long as I have, or longer, maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Cornette's been around forever, What has your interactions been like with Jim Cornette?
Business, very good, good business. I was refereeing, and he would come down with his tag team guys,
Yeah.
and worked in territory for a little bit, and then move on. I remember he came to the ring one time. It was West Palm Beach, and he came to the ring with his guys, and with his tennis racket and all that, and he pulled out a stack of ones, like there's probably 40 or 50 ones, you know,
Huh?
and he was trying to buy the referee off, you know, work. He said, "Here, referee, take this," and you know what I mean. So I grabbed the money and I threw it out to the audience.
That's awesome.
You know, and
Yeah.
thank God there was only a little bit of it. There was all ones because it's Fonzie. Why'd you throw my money into the audience? That was, you know. And he gave me a little bit of shit for it. We laughed about it, but I love Jim Cornette. Very smart guy in the business.
I
Very
know.
smart guy. Very opinionated, and some people don't agree with some of the stuff he says. But oh well, you know, freedom of speech. You
That's it.
know.
You know, he is very opinionated, and like he can be. People think he's very polarizing on online during his podcasts and stuff like that.
Yes.
But I mean, you cannot argue the mind that he has and like the thought process that goes through and how smart he is to the business. And it's like so often, more often than not, I hear when I talk to wrestlers and stuff like that, Rob included, RVD included, they kind of be like, yeah, I kind of agree with Jim Cornette about what he says about stuff, you know, when it
Yeah, he doesn't pull no punches.
no, doesn't pull any punches. And it's just like, yeah, he's abrasive. He's opinionated. That upsets some people. But I mean, you got to tip the cap to him for what he's done to the business and the
Doesn't upset me
you're
at
right.
all. I
No,
like it. I like
I like it
controversy.
too. You know, it's the checks and balances to the whole industry of things. And it's just like, because
And
some
the
stuff,
thing, yeah,
yeah,
you're right. And the thing about it, he's usually right.
that's it. Because some
You
stuff you
know.
see can like if I had hair, I'd pull it out sometimes. That's what I see on some of the current wrestling stuff. But it's like I mean, you know, it's a shame that some of the current promotions don't listen. Like I'll say it, AEW sometimes doesn't listen to what he has to say, and I think they would benefit if they would just kind of be like, ah, he's got a point. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So
Yeah, I like
uh,
Jim Cornette.
I do too.
Hey, can I show you a couple new jackets? I got this
Yeah,
one that
absolutely.
I like it because it's this guy's in a lot of trouble right now. So I
Oh,
bought the
great.
jacket. I bought the jacket a while back, and it's a vintage jacket, and it's Diddy. He's in a lot of
A
trouble, right?
lot of trouble.
Yeah. So I said, "Damn, I got this jacket there." P Diddy Combs. It's a Sean John jean jacket, right?
Yeah,
And I got it all patched up ECW style like I do and everything. I said, "Damn, I'm gonna get stuck with this thing." But now I'm getting bids on it. People want it.
that's hilarious.
People want it. Can you see it?
Oh, let's take a look. Oh yeah, I see it. Look at that, Sean John.
Right?
Fonzie, you should send a bottle of lube with it too.
Right. For people want it for some reason. Been offered a couple of $100, so I'm gonna hold off until I get the big offer for it and let it go.
Heck yeah, can't
And,
beat
and
that.
I got these new backpacks that just came
Those
out.
are
They're
awesome.
pretty cool. And
Yeah,
they just got the ECW logo on it. And I gave a package deal. I'll put like uh, 5 8x10s of me and Van Dam, me and Sabu, or me and my guys, you know what I mean? And
yeah.
all my cards, all my baseball cards or baseball type cards with Flair, Fujinami, Rick Rude and Fonzie, Dusty and Fonzie, Flair getting slammed off the top rope by Brian Pillman,
Heck yeah.
Flair and Fujinami, and so on. I put a little package together, and people like it. People love that cult like following. The ECW has that cult like following, and I guess I'm just providing a service. And I buy all good quality stuff. I don't buy any Walmart stuff. Like, look at this Eddie Bowers.
Oh
It's a $200 fucking golf shirt with the ECW logo on it. People love that kind of shit. There's Fonzie action figures, but uh, and people like this, we were in the High Times magazine, me, Van Dam, and Sabu, the High Times marijuana magazine.
oh yeah, for sure.
So I make this, and the people like it, and I'll sign it, and people usually bring me a joint too. I said, okay, that's pretty cool, and
You can't
I
beat
just
that.
I just got some new ECW merchandise. Not much. It's just a jackets and backpacks. Keeps me busy, creates a little revenue, and I have fun providing stuff like this, and people love it.
Well, Fonzie, tell people how they can get that stuff if they want it.
Well, I bring them to usually all the shows that I'm on.
Yeah,
worldwide. I go all over the country, and I always have a couple of jackets and a backpack with me, and they can buy them there, or they can just get a hold of me on my social media. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, the X thing, I Instagram. They can message me, and I'll get right back with them. They can order them through that way, or
absolutely. Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
I'm not that hard to find, and
Yeah,
I'll mail it right to you.
guys, follow
You
him on
know.
Twitter at Alfonso Bill, and you can send him a message. And if you're interested in any of that stuff, like the backpacks are sweet, but those jackets are awesome too. It's you can't beat any of that stuff. So, yeah, awesome stuff. Hey, what's the name of your cat, Fonzie?
Oh, that is Peachy. She's an
Peachy.
Egyptian cat.
Oh my gosh,
She goes back from the pyramid days. If you look at the pyramids at the writing on the walls, you see this cat on their walls.
heck
And
yeah.
it's
Oh man,
yeah. She's 4 years old. She's badass as my wife's cat.
oh, she's a sweetheart. I have
Yeah,
my
she's
cat's
beautiful. She's beautiful. She's full size. We take good care of her. She's really interested in my wrestling stuff.
oh yeah, she's loving life right now.
Oh yeah, yeah. She's a sweetheart.
That's
She's a
awesome.
sweetheart. She's really cool, and she's great to look at. Man, she's unusual.
Yeah, she's a beauty right there.
Yeah, they're a special breed, man.
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah, she's rubbing up against everything.
She's rubbing against Van Dam. She
Yeah,
spells out
that's it.
420.
The 420. That's it.
Yeah,
Hey,
she's something, man. Her name is Peachy.
Peachy. That is
Yep.
Peachy. We have to give a shout out to Adam Kahn. He gave us $10. He said, "No questions, just wishing you well." So thank you, Adam. Appreciate
Oh,
it.
thanks, Adam.
Yeah, thank you very much. So,
Thanks, Adam.
guys, if you want to chime in too, feel free to ask any question. Use the super chat. We'll definitely answer it. I keep my eyes peeled as well. But if you're tuning in, be sure to subscribe to OneTrueSportTV.com or RVDTV.com and help grow the channel and everything. Look at that backpack. You can get that backpack. You can, if you meet Fonzie in person, or send him a message too, and he can.
Yeah.
Yep.
And not only the backpack, usually I put 5 8x10s all signed and, you know, uh, all my baseball cards. And it's a nice package. Just if you're ECW fan, people want these things. And I'm a provider, so I'm happy to. And they're not very expensive either.
Hey, there you go. Yeah, you make some reasonably priced, and Fonzie is super duper generous. So
Oh yeah, when people buy something, I usually give. I bought 1,000 of these whistles last year,
yeah,
and I sold 700 of them and gave 300 away.
wow, that's
You
great.
know, and then get my boys on the back. There's Fonzie, Van Dam, Sabu, Taz. Uh, and I can't get them right now because they're on back order. I try to order another 1,000, but I can't get them for some reason. So I'm going to look at a different dealer and see if I can come up with something very similar. But people seem to like them. They don't open them. It comes with a whistle and all my stuff. And, I throw in an 8x10 or whatever and sign them. And they're $25. People just want them to throw into their collection. So they're
Yeah,
pretty
it's a neat
cool.
thing to have. It's definitely a
Yeah.
neat thing to have.
Yep, and nobody opens them. It's a good whistle. It's a real whistle and all that, but they don't want to open them because it's a souvenir or whatever collectors or
Yeah,
whatever.
collector's item and stuff.
Yeah,
It's kind of
yeah,
neat to show on your shelf or
yeah.
whatever
But
too.
I bought 1,000 of them. Can't keep them.
Yeah, heck yeah, you can't. No doubt.
Everybody's got $20, $25.
That's it. That's
Don't
it.
break the bank.
Does it? No, not at all. So that's great.
And sold out of my action figures too. My Fonzie little stuffed
Oh, the Still
guys.
Buddies, you got them all sold, huh?
Yeah, I got 4 or 5 left, which I'm gonna keep because I don't know if I'm gonna get any more. You
Yeah,
know. Yeah, they
that's
were pretty cool.
that's pretty sweet
Pretty
indeed.
cool.
That's it. Beat up Fonzie.
No,
Hey,
I get beat up all the time. Look, last year I worked for multiple different companies. I worked for MLW. I worked for CCW out of South Florida. I worked for Billy Corrigan, NWA. I
right.
worked for John Thorne out of Cleveland. Been there 4 years, in and out for 4 years. I worked for Indies. I worked for this guy. I worked for that guy. conventions, etc. WrestleMania conventions, that big one that's coming up in Las Vegas. I'm
Yeah.
already booked for that 3 days. I signed a deal with Ruda. They make belts. They make wrestling
Oh,
belts.
nice.
So I'm going in partnership with this belt company, and so they're bringing me in. We're gonna have the belts and all my ECW stuff at a booth in Las Vegas. I already signed a deal with them, so I'll be there for sure.
Yeah.
Uh, what I was gonna say something about that, but damn, I forgot.
Well, it'll be a good turnout. I'll be there for sure. I'm making my trip over to Vegas.
Oh yeah, yeah. If you need a place to stay, Ruda's getting me a suite. So if you get stuck without a room, you can come stay with me.
Appreciate that, Fonzie.
Oh
Definitely.
yeah, man. We'll get the pull-out couch or a cot or whatever, you
Yeah.
know.
Make something happen.
Yeah,
Sure.
Christine will be coming. We just got back from there. We had spent, at the cauliflower
Awesome.
convention.
Yep.
Yeah, see, we enjoyed it, but she probably won't go back because this is work. It's work.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot to. I mean, you guys do the convention stuff, but you guys are on your feet all day, interacting with
Yeah.
fans. It's
Well,
it's
the last one was in Philadelphia, so I worked 3 days. I went out there with Woo Toys on their video game.
yeah,
Uh, so I went out there representing them. They brought me and a couple other guys that are on the video game, which is going to be
yeah.
released pretty soon. I did real well with them. Um, let's see what was I going to say about. So yeah, Philadelphia. We did really well out there. We
Mm-hmm.
did really well out there.
Well, that's the ECW stomping grounds too. So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And also, I worked 3 days at the convention, and I worked 2 shows. And both shows were at the ECW arena,
Yeah,
and I got a standing ovation. Welcome back, Fonzie. Welcome back, Fonzie. That's very flattering, and I'm very humbled by that stuff. For people still put me over after all these years, it's very humbling. And plus I got paid.
yeah. That's a nice
That's
aspect,
a bonus. That's a
right?
bonus. It's pretty cool.
It is
Pretty
pretty sweet.
cool.
Yeah, and I love that. I was there for one of your matches because it was RVD taking on Speedball Mike Bailey. You were managing Rob, and Jerry Lynn was the referee, so it was awesome.
Can you imagine? Van Dam and Jerry Lynn had spectacular matches in that building. Oh my God. Also, I was trying to think about um, working these shows, and I'm so I got when I was going like this,
Hmm.
boom, 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 beat up Fonzie. So last year or this year, I broke 3 ribs, broke my nose, and got multiple stitches.
Oh my god.
And I'm only a manager. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So I'm still getting beat up.
still getting beat up. There's nothing wrong. I mean, hey,
Yeah. I come home, I'm scared to tell my wife, babe, I broke 3 ribs. I told you not to dive off that top rope.
jeez, oh man. Hey, who taught you how to take like a bump and stuff like that and everything?
I think it just came naturally after all the years, and I don't take an ordinary bump. I take the bump the wrong way. That's why I broke 3 ribs. I put a
That's
guy through a table. Let's see, I'll tell you who it was. Damn it. So anyway, I put a guy on the table and went up to the top rope. And Sabu told me how to do it. He said,
mhm.
you put the guy in you put the guy more on this side of the table, and when you drop on him, your ass hits first, and your legs go across the guy, and your ass breaks the table, and it's easy on them. But instead of me doing what Sabu says, I dive on him like a splash,
Yeah.
which was the wrong thing to do because
Oh.
I broke 3 ribs, and
Uh,
it hurt like hell. But I finished the match. I finished what I was supposed to be doing.
like a true worker.
Yeah. And when we were in Louisiana, for some reason, it was, let's see, me, Sandman, and somebody else. And we had 3 shows Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We had 3 shows for ECW. So
Mhm.
we decided to drive. It's not that bad of a drive. It's like an 8-hour drive from Tampa. And we were there for 3 days. So I said, hey, let's just drive this show. So we all agreed on it. And we drive to Louisiana. And on the third day, on the Sunday, I did something in the ring and broke my arm. There's 2 bones in your arm.
Yeah.
One bigger and one smaller. The smaller one, I shattered it so bad then I needed emergency surgery. I had to get rushed to the fucking hospital and all that. So they wanted to do surgery on the spot. And I
Hmm.
said, well, can you just split it up and gimmick it up enough for me to drive home, and then I'll do it there, because then I get follow ups and so on and so on. I don't want to have it done in Louisiana, and then the doctor that performed the surgery, I'm never going to see him again.
Sure.
So they gimmick me up and put some type of splint on me and take me up. And Sandman and whoever else I was with was so drunk, I had to drive home 8 hours with a broken fucking arm under pain pills, driving a fucking car while these fucking two idiots, Sandman, the idiot, God bless you, was drunk and couldn't drive. So, I get home. I had to set up an appointment to have the surgery done, but it was a holiday. So I
Oh,
couldn't, it's 2 more days before they could do the surgery on it. So finally, I get the surgery done on it. They said, just in the nick of time, why didn't you come earlier? I said, well, I told you, fuck, I was in Louisiana and just told the whole story. So they ended up putting a titanium plate with like 9 screws in there. I still got the scar to prove it.
jeez.
Uh, so, you know, but I didn't complain. I had the surgery. I worked the next week.
That's
You know,
hilarious. Oh my gosh, it's crazy.
that's crazy how the boys do.
Yeah,
And I'm not
absolutely.
the only one. All of us do it. All of us do it. Van
Yeah,
Damme included. All of us do it. Sabu's so banged up he can barely walk sometimes. He works through broken jaws. If you see the match between, this is a good match. It's Terry Funk and Sabu in a barbed wire match in
classic.
Philadelphia at the ECW Arena. And
Yeah.
what happened was, the week before, they send the ring guy out to buy the barbed wire.
Hmm.
There's 3 different strands of barbed wire. There's small barbed wire, there's medium barbed wire, and there's big barbed wire to buy to keep the fucking 3,000 pound cattle out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the ring guy was supposed to buy the small barb to keep the sheep out.
Yes. Yeah.
But he makes a mistake and buys the most hardcore, uh, dangerous barbed wire there is known to mankind. So they put it up, and we find out a half hour before the match. Oh, he put up the wrong barbed wire. So they said, "Oh, fuck, we can't do nothing about it now. So let's continue. Let's have the match." So anyway, they introduced the match, and I'm Sabu's manager, and he's fighting Terry Funk in the barbed wire match, and they get it going, and my God, bam, 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 they're all cut up, and there's a spot where Sabu throws Terry Funk into a turnbuckle. Oh, he gets all scarred up. He and Sabu comes running in. He comes running in, jumps off a chair, drops that big leg on him. But
Right.
Terry Funk moved, and the bob caught him. The barbed wire caught him right here, and his weight pulled him down. He ripped from here to here. It was about that far. The scar was that far apart, and about that long on his
Oh,
thing. His meat was hanging out.
oh,
Sabu looks at the scar and goes, "Oh, oh, Fonzie." He goes into shock for about 6 seconds. Oh, like that. I'll never forget it. Oh. Then he snaps out of it and says, "Fonzie, give me some tape. Give me some tape." So I run back to the dressing room, and I need tape, I need tape, I need tape. So somebody gives me tape, but it's the white tape that they put on their wrists and stuff.
yeah.
So I
Yeah.
bring it back to this only tape we got, because his skin was hanging out. It looked like his brains were hanging out of his fucking arm and shit.
Oh my god.
So as Sabu's taping it up, Terry Funk puts a chair in the middle of the ring, kicks him in the gut, and he gives him a reverse neck breaker onto the steel chair, and Sabu's taping it up in midair going down. I'll never forget it. Pretty fucking cool. And then eventually Terry Funk grabs me and brings me in and gets a barbed wire and rips my shirt off, and I got scars on the back of my back, but nothing compared to Sabu. Another
Yeah.
injury, but I'm not going to complain. Sabu just had his fucking arm ripped off, and I'm not going to complain about a couple little
A couple
stitches or
scars
something
on
in
the
my
back.
back.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah. My gosh, I did not know any of that.
Yeah, pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff. It is. You can watch it. You can Google it right now. Google Terry Funk in a barbed wire match against Sabu. And you'll see the spot where he's taping it up and getting a reverse neck breaker on the chair, and Sabu's taping it up in the midair, getting a reverse neck breaker. It's the coolest thing.
Oh my gosh, that's badass, man. Sabu's such a badass. Terry Funk's a badass.
Oh my God, yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah, man. Well, I gotta go back and watch that match.
Yeah, I got
There's
one
some,
more short story. You probably heard this before. So, my first professional match, I go up to Texas. I'm breaking in. Rocky Johnson and King Curtis send me and the Cuban assassin out there. Cuban's got a job, and he says, "Oh, this is my little brother. He's a referee. If you can use him." So, they had David Manning, Bronco Lubitsch, and they had all the referees they needed. So,
yeah,
but anyway, I worked a few times in the 6 months I was out there. One of the first matches that I refereed professionally was Terry Funk and the Sheik, Sabu's uncle. When I
yeah,
told Sabu the story, Sabu fell in love with me because I told him the story. So they have a chain match. They're chained to each other with a long fucking chain, a steel chain this fucking thick, and
yeah,
the Sheik's known for getting big blood, and Terry Funk's known for all this hardcore shit. So they have the match, bam, bam, bam. Finally, when it's right, the Sheik pulls out a pencil and starts stabbing Terry Funk in the head. He grabs the referee, who is me, and starts stabbing me, and he stabbed me for real. He stabbed me in the arm so deep the lead broke off in my arm. And, eventually they picked it out, but I still have the lead mark. So if you see me at a show, say, "Hey, show me where the Sheik stabbed you with a pencil." I still got, it's like a tattoo.
yeah.
If you get stabbed by an ink pen, the ink doesn't go away. So I got a lead mark tattoo from the Sheik. I'll show it to you if you guys ever come up to me and say, "Fonzie, let me see the stab mark by the Sheik." I say, "Here it is, right here, Daddy."
I'll have
You
to
know,
ask you. I'll have to ask.
that's just a story, one of
Yeah,
stories.
I'll have to ask you next time we're together to show me that.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I got tons of stories. Roddy Piper shooting the alligator and all kind of shit, and
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of good stuff we can cover.
yeah.
We'll take a couple questions here before we close on out. Fonzie,
Okay.
that
Hey,
good
don't wrap
cast.
me up, Daddy. I can talk all night long. Don't wrap me up, Daddy. I got a lot of shit to say. I always say here for next time. All right, couple questions. Come on, baby.
Couple questions. So Triple E has a good one related to Dusty.
All
He
right.
says, "Speaking of Dusty, what's the earliest memory of meeting Cody? Have you ever thought back then the star that Cody and Dustin would become at that point when you met them? Do you have
Well,
memories of meeting Cody when he was younger?
you remember we're talking about 1980 when I signed my contract with Florida Championship Wrestling. Dusty was the boss,
Right.
and Cody was old enough to start training and stuff, and they started training him. I don't know what year it was in the 80s, somewhere early 80s, and they
It
were
was
training him.
Cody is my
No,
age.
Dustin. I'm talking about Dustin,
Dustin,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
and Cody was a lot younger. So I remember like going over to Dusty's house or whatever, and there's little Cody. He's
Mhm.
this fucking big, and we had no idea that he's gonna break into business and become a big star like he is.
Yeah, man, yeah, and it's like what a way to carry on his dad's legacy when
Oh
it comes
yeah,
to
and what a
everything.
break, what a spot he's got. But you got to have the talent, and you got to have the charisma to carry that spot out. They're putting a lot of weight on that kid's shoulders,
And
and
the
so
confidence that they have in him, it shows because it's
yeah.
like he's been put in situations. What I can't remember the pay per view it was exactly. They had a big show, and Triple H could not make the press conference afterwards. And who did they put in that position but Cody Rhodes to answer questions, do all the attendance number stuff,
He's
everything like
handling himself really well. He's
that.
covering
Absolutely.
his rounds. So let's see what happens. There is he going to be the next Raymond Rose? Is he going to be the next Hulk Hogan? I don't know, but he's doing really well. People like him,
He's doing some
and
great.
I like him.
I do too. I'm always a big fan. I think I got to see him interact with fans during WrestleMania weekend. He was like just taking time with all the fans and everything like that. And he's super
Yeah,
considerate.
you got to be in that position. So, but listen, a new broom sweeps good. Let's see how we sweep in 2 years from now.
Hmm.
I think he'll be fine though.
I think he will be too. Yeah, I think he'll
Yeah.
be a-okay. And you know what? He's shown that he's got the ability to be an ultimate baby face like he is now.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, he's
He's
got
got
the
the
ability.
capability too to be a heel if he really wants to as well.
Yeah,
So
that'll come. That'll come eventually.
absolutely. So no, it's been a lot of fun to see Cody, and the neat thing about him too is how he's really transcended the business. It's like you think about how Dusty
It's
has,
a new era. You said it. Transcending the business has changed, brother. It's changed so much from back when I started in 1978 till now, brother. It's changed tremendously,
yeah,
tremendously.
absolutely. And the thing with like you think he goes away, he leaves WWE, and then he goes to AEW, starts a company, does a big show, and like from All In, and then that turns into AEW. He does it with the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega and everything like that, and then he leaves his mark there, goes back to WWE, and he's an established star at this point. And here now he's in the world title picture. He's the world champion, and he's the face of the company basically. So
Yeah, he certainly is, and doing
it's
well, carrying this load. Congratulations, Cody. God bless you, sir.
absolutely, yeah, he does a great
And I
job.
like him. I'm behind him 100%.
Me too. I always, whenever I've only interacted with him briefly a couple times, but I always talk about westerns with him when we
Yeah,
yeah. So
yeah.
good stuff. But all right, Maddie, who's a big fan of you and a big fan of RVD, he asks, who would Fonzie love to manage on NXT? Are you familiar with the talent down in NXT there, Fonzie?
NXT,
Yeah.
not with everybody, but anybody that I don't care if, as long as they can work their ass off, as long as they are good in the ring, you can put me in there. Like, my name has come up twice in the media production meeting for AEW.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and QT Marshall came up to me once and said, "Hey, I'm in the office in AEW, and your name came up in a production meeting." I said, "Well, what do you want me to do? You want me to call Tony Khan?" He said, "No, no, no, just wait." So I see 2 months later says, "Fonzie, your name came up again for AEW in a production meeting." I said, "Well, what do you want me to do? You want me to call Tony?" He said, "Oh, no, no, wait, wait, wait." So I'm waiting. Let's see what happens. So my thought was they could put me with anybody. I
Hmm.
don't care, as long as the guy can work their ass off. Put me with a low guy and let me and him fucking climb to the top real quick and do some fuck moves and me be a heel and do something. I think it would work. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens, and then I'll have a match with Tony Khan and put him over like I did Beulah.
There you go. That's
Because
great.
he's a small guy. He's a small guy. So am I. So I would put him over and do the same thing I did with Beulah. Have that 7-minute hardcore match, get all blooded up, and put Tony over.
That's great.
So we got something in common because the Tab, man, is Taz. Taz is one of their big guys there, and I can work an angle with Hook. Yeah,
Yeah.
we can go in there. Fuck, they give me their medium heel, the medium bad guy, and I go in there right away. We fuck Hook for the belt. You
Yeah.
know what I
Oh my
mean? Have
God.
this little set two with Hook, and then Tony gets involved. Hey, you can't do that. And I slap the fuck out of Tony, and then we come back and I put him over like I did Beulah.
Yeah. Oh, that's great stuff.
Something like that. I'm dreaming, but it's possible we can do that, and it would, it would create some interest. I guarantee you that. Even if they brought me in for half a year, and we did the angle, it took us 6 months to do the angle, and I end up leaving after making a couple bucks and all that, I'd be okay with that.
100%. And Tony Khan's such a huge ECW fan. Like he's a big time ECW.
That's why I think my name came up a couple of times in a production meeting, QT Marshall, because of ECW, not because I was an international 5-star referee, because of ECW.
Yeah. Tony, he was in attendance for the stretcher match between Sabu and RVD. I know his dad took him there to Philadelphia, the ECW arena, and got to see that match between Sabu and RVD. So
Nice. And I was there.
yeah, it's pretty awesome. It's like a kind of, and I think I spotted him in the crowd. I could be mistaken.
Really?
I took a little screenshot, and I see a big mustached guy who is his dad,
Right.
essentially, and then a little kid with an orange shirt on. I was like, that might be Tony Khan right there.
Right.
So, pretty neat stuff.
Pretty cool stuff.
Pretty cool stuff indeed. So let's see. Oh, here we go. You might not know who this is, but Devin Dowling has a good name to suggest. He says Fonzie for Nick Wayne's manager. Do you know who Nick Wayne is?
Not really. If I see him, I probably know him.
you would be great for him because he's about Hook's size, but he's like a bad guy. And he's in Christian Cage's faction right now. But
Okay.
that would be you. Yeah, that would be a good fit. That's a good suggestion, Devin. So good stuff there.
Yeah.
Mhm. Let's see here. I want to make sure I get the super chat. Oh, okay. So Matt, you answered that question for Maddie. Let's see. Wanted to see if there's Chris. I'll screenshot this one when we cover the Bruiser Brody and Lex Luger match in depth. So I'll make sure to ask this one when we do that episode. So I screenshotted it there, right now. So good to go there. Fonzie, if you had to take a guess, how many people do you think are tuning in live right now?
1,274 people.
We got 6,637 right now. So there we go.
Thank you, everybody. I'm flattered. I'm glad I'm entertaining. The 6,000 people who tune in must like us a little bit because, I guess I got stories and I'm entertaining and I'm a little hyper and hopefully it crosses over on the podcast. And thank
Yep.
you so much, guys. Thank you so much. And I'm not trying to hard sell you on the
Oh
jackets
no,
and
yeah.
stuff. They sell themselves. So you guys are interested, get a hold of me and I'll give you a deal on it, especially if you say, hey, I listen to your podcast, give me 25% off and you get it. You know what I mean?
There you
So,
go.
all cool. Thank you so much, 6,600 people. It's very fucking flattering, very cool. And thanks to you, Dominic, you're a big part of that drawing this, couldn't do it without you.
Well, thank you, Fonzie. No, it's fun to do, and we got to give a shout out to RVD too because he lets us use his Twitter account.
RVD's my guy. God bless him. I love RVD and Katie.
He's the man. RVD and Katie, that's awesome. It was so great seeing you guys all together in Vegas and having a good time with you guys. So.
Yeah, we had ringside seat at the fucking at the ceremony.
We did. It was great stuff. I helped Lex Luger up on stage when he inducted Sting. Which
Can you believe it?
yeah,
Yeah.
how crazy is that, huh? So, Maddie says you're an effing awesome Fonzie, and so is Dom Legend. Thanks, Maddie. Appreciate it.
Hell yeah. Thanks, Maddie. You're a legend, kid.
Yeah, Maddie is. I tell you what, he texts. He's on Only Wrestlers. He's subscribed to Only Wrestlers, and he sends RVD like jokes all the time and stuff like that. So
nice. Where do you know where he lives?
He's the guy we gotta send that package to. We gotta talk to him about the package because
what city is that?
He's all the way in Australia. He's that one.
Oh, that's the $300 guy. Hey, Maddie, here's the problem.
Here
Brother.
we go. Yeah.
And it's not like we're cheapskates or anything, but you want the jacket, you want a fair and square your jacket, but we didn't realize where you lived at, and we didn't realize it's going to be pretty expensive. We both got money. Dominic's got money. I have money. I got to live in a beautiful home and all that, but we were very put back by it was $300 to send a jacket. Plus, I'm sending you pictures and all kind of extra stuff, but it doesn't weigh anything. It's just a jacket, But it was like $300 for the bill, so we're trying to figure a way to get it to you. We don't want to put the burden on you and say, "Hey, you got to pay for postage." We're just trying to find a less inexpensive way than the $300 because that's not cool. But you want a jacket fair and square, you're gonna get it. It's all packaged up. All right, I'm gonna show you the package right here.
Yeah, he's got it ready for you now. We just got to figure out something.
Yeah, I took it to the post office, ready to go, all sealed up, stapled up, taped up, with your name on it right there. The Maddie Southwestern Highway, Daddy. Western Australia, 6252. Ready to go.
Okay, ready to
It's
roll.
not like we're trying to do nothing fishy. We want you to have that jacket. We're just trying to find a way, a little less expensive way to send it to you, but you're going to get it. Don't worry.
We'll figure something out. He says don't stress about it right now, so we'll figure.
Yeah, I did stress about it. It bothers the hell out of me.
Yeah.
The hell out of me. I should have went ahead and paid the $300 and just, ate it. But,
yeah, we'll figure something out. We'll figure something out for sure.
You will figure something out. Yeah,
absolutely. Cool. Well, let me think. There's plenty more to cover with Dusty, I know. So I don't want to. I guess I don't want to do too much of that.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about Dusty again because I got a story where I sucker punched him, and I hit him for real, and he threw my bag. I was almost in a plane crash with him, and we all kind of stuff with Dusty.
There's a lot to
All
cover.
kind of stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, guys, I will plug a little bit of stuff here too. Let me make sure to, if you guys are interested in some cool Fonzie merch too, as well, we have stuff at onetruesport.com.
Oh yeah.
Fonzie's got his own collection there. We got the referee T-shirt. It's the classic ECW style with the barbed wire 1TS on it and Fonzie right down the middle. But then we also have the NWA classic referee T-shirt too. So if you want to represent Fonzie as a referee, you can get that T-shirt. Scan that QR code. You can go to onetruesport.com and get that. But you can get the signature Sabu, Rob Van Dam, and Bill Alfonso hat. It's awesome. Fonzie has it. Look at that. Check it out right there. Look at that. It's a quality type hat. I was so
it's
happy.
a beautiful hat.
Man, look at that. That is great stuff. So you guys can order one right now. And it's a high quality stuff. We make sure at One True Sport, we don't scrimp on the quality of the t-shirts and the merchandise. So go to onetruesport.com. You can get all that kind of stuff there. So really, we're happy to have Fonzie on there. We have RVD on there. We got Sabu. Blue Meanie is another ECW guy we have on there. So be sure to check all those guys, everything out like that. Yes, head to onetruesport.com. There it is right there. There's the referee shirt. Check it out. So right down the middle, Bill Alfonso's signature on the back too. Yes, you can't beat it. Look at that. Look at that. Classic NWA style. You get the best of both worlds with Fonzie right there. No doubt about that.
And when you guys order, of course, I'll send you an 8x10 signed picture of me and my boys. Guaranteed.
Yeah. Yes. I keep track of who orders stuff and what they order online. So if you happen to order a Fonzie t-shirt or anything like that, I'll text Fonzie and let him know anything that comes that way. So if you order something from One True Sport, hey, you'll get a Fonzie 8x10 too. How about that? So pretty neat stuff.
And if you win a jacket or something, if you live in Australia, you guys got to pay shipping and handling. I mean, just shipping, not handling.
Just shipping, not handling. Yeah, we'll work something out there. Devin Dowling wanted to let you know the Get Blitz promo. So go to get-blitz.com. Use promo code RVD. Get 15% off.
RVD. Yes, you will. RVD.
Yeah. RVD promo code get-blitz.com and check it out. There it is, right down the middle. Man, I love that shirt. I'm gonna get myself one of those too, Fonzie. I think that's such a that's a great shirt. It's a great shirt. So go to onetruesport.com, guys. Oh man, yeah, Chris, we're gonna have to cover that too. Barry Windham we'll have to talk about as well.
Love Barry Windham.
Yes,
man. I just looked at. I posted something on X, Twitter. There was Barry Windham and Jake the Snake. Before they came big, huge, they were hard. Barry Windham was such a fan favorite here in the state of Florida. Was a big baby face. I mean, women were throwing the underwear in the ring. It was and Jake the Snake was a badass. They had a little feud going, and they had fantastic matches. Oh my God! And this was in the young stages of early '80s. Man, they were young and beautiful, and man, could they go! Jake the Snake was a classic worker, and Barry Windham was one of the best baby faces in the country at that time.
Man, yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, great stuff. And Jake the Snake's just a master of psychology, and Barry Windham has such that cool baby face presence that was really, really good too.
Yeah, he was beautiful. The fans loved him, boy, and he could sell his ass off. When they beat him down, the bad guys beat him down, boy. The people were going nuts.
Yeah, heck yeah. Oh my gosh. Good stuff. Yes, Maddie, I'm with you. Raven for the WWE Hall of Fame. I'm all for that. I think Raven's way ready for that. He should be there.
Yeah, they just did a big documentary on Raven.
Yeah, that's right. Were you a part of that, Fonzie? Or
I think so. I think I was they interviewed me. They've interviewed me for multiple. Let's see. I just did one for Billy Jack about the Dark Side of the Ring people out of Toronto. They called me and they flew me in and asked me about Billy Jack, because he just had that big incident with his wife, did a mercy killing and so on, but he did it the wrong way. You can't do that. You can't kill your wife because she's sick.
Yeah.
Especially with a shotgun.
Oh my way.
But they interviewed me about him and somebody else I did one about too. And
You were with
um,
you did the Sandman one, I know.
oh yeah, the Sandman one. Yeah, I did the one about Sandman and told them the truth. They loved the story, and I think I did one with Raven too, or they just interviewed me or was part of that somehow.
Yeah, man.
Raven texted me and said thank me for it and all that.
Yeah, I like Raven. He's such a smart dude, and
Oh, he's very smart. Yeah,
yeah, absolutely. It's like,
very smart.
yeah, it's neat to.
I got some Raven stories too. So when we do a classic one on Raven, you
We'll have,
know.
I know we got so much ground to cover. It's like we touch upon some of the stories, but it's like there's so much more that we can really dive
I
into.
know, and I jump from John. You know, I tell a little story about this guy, and I jump to that guy because it reminds me. You know what I mean? It's pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. So should be some good stuff, Fonzie. But yeah, this was a great episode. Well, I think we covered some great ground. Got 6,700 people tuning in. So man, awesome
Wow!
stuff. Yeah.
Congratulations, Dominic. You're doing fucking fantastic for us.
Hey, thanks. This has been a lot of fun, and we'll. So what I didn't post the episode from the last time we did it. I didn't post it up in our audio, so I'll get that. I'll do a double whammy. So look on the RVD. Go to One of a Kind with RVD on your podcast feed of choice, and you'll get the double header episode. This week's episode and the last week, 2 weeks ago when we did an episode, and you can get huge chunk of a super episode of Fonzie going on. So
You know, you give us enough time, but the time flies when we're doing these podcasts. We're supposed to do it for about an hour, but we ended up doing it for an hour and a half, and that's still not enough time.
I know, right?
You got to wrap me up because I get so excited telling these stories. You know what I mean? And people are receptive to them, so I'm having a good time, and people are, and I guess they're enjoying them because we got over 6,000 people watching us right now, man.
That's
Which is
it.
very cool. Thank you for everyone watching, every fucking buddy.
Yeah, thank you guys. I really do appreciate it. It's so neat to see everybody in the chat and like interacting and asking good questions and just cultivating a good environment here. So it's
Yeah,
been a
and
lot
if
of
any
fun.
of the 600, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but
That's
any
okay.
of you guys that watch the podcast and you know I'm doing a show in your area, like I go to Cleveland once a month, I go to Miami all the time, I doing a show in Pennsylvania 3 days next week, day after Thanksgiving with Sandman and Pitbull and all these guys, and doing shows all over the country. So please come up to me and say, hey, I watch your podcast, Fonzie, and I'll hook you up. I'll give you 8x10 or something, but mention the podcast. Say, hey, we love the podcast. That gives me incentive to do better and keep doing them. You know.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you can get. I know Fonzie will give you some great stories, and he's a fun interaction when you're live and meeting him in person and stuff like that. And like
I
I
get
said,
things all the time on my social media. Oh, Fonzie, I met you in 1993. You were coming out of Burt Flickinger Center in Buffalo, and you stopped and talked to us and put us over and asked me how'd you like the matches and all that. So that makes me feel good. Can you imagine if I came out of the Burt Flickinger Center and there was a bunch of fans waiting to say hello to you, and I said, "Hey, fuck off, you assholes." You know, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. I would
no,
not be sitting here talking to you guys. You know,
absolutely.
and there's many guys like that.
Yeah.
Guys fucking ruin their careers by being stupid to the fans and shit, you know.
They're
And
the
I'm
bread and
not,
butter.
and I'm
They're the
not
bread
trying
and
to blow smoke up your ass. I'm just being Fonzie. You know,
butter.
I'm literally enjoy the business. I enjoy you guys. You know, you've been
Yeah.
good to me.
It's the Fonzie does give back big time, big time. So, and Matt even says too. He says RVD and Fonzie's time for their fans is unmatched. It's true. Both you guys are great with your fans, like when you're meeting them in person. So it's I've seen that from just watch from a side and stuff like that. So definitely get a chance if you get to meet Fonzie. Go out of your way and do it. He'll make it worth your while.
Yeah, man. Yeah, please come up to me, man. I'm a pretty cool dude.
Absolutely. Hey, Devin, you got your order. Sweet. Get Blitz, get-blitz.com, promo code RVD. Appreciate that. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. All right. So, guys, yes, get the word out about this show. Be sure to like, subscribe, whether you're on OneTrueSportTV.com or RVDTV.com. And you'll get the episodes that Fonzie's on here right now. But yes, and we'll get more. I'll get clips up going with Fonzie and everything like that. So be on the lookout for that kind of stuff. We'll cultivate some good stuff here on.
Yep, tune in for RVD tomorrow night live, Daddy.
That's right, live. We're aiming for 9 p.m., 9:15 p.m. Tune in Eastern Standard Time. RVDT. Go to RVD's YouTube or go to OneTrueSportTV.com. And you'll get that episode, the new episode, streaming live. You can ask RVD some questions too. So good stuff. Fonzie, before I close out, I wanted to mention too, did you interact with Big Boom AJ, the Costco guys? Was that you? Talk about that real quick, because tonight he's on AEW Dynamite, is Big Boom AJ.
Right. So CCW, the owner of CCW, Nelio, the Brazilian Giant, called me and says, hey, I got these guys. I want you to meet them in Tampa on a Sunday. We worked all weekend, and meet these guys on a Sunday. They got this thing on social media, on TikTok. They're big stars on TikTok. So me and a couple other wrestlers met them, and we didn't know who the fuck they were.
Mm-hmm.
And he had this gimmick, and I ended up doing a promo with the guy, Rizzy,
the Rizzler.
Riz Face.
The Rizzler.
So I'm sitting on. I got an ECW belt strapped on me, and I'm interacting with the Riz. Hey, Riz, can you teach me how to do the Red Face? He says, you go like this, you do. I like that. So, like The Rock, So anyway, I got like 15 million views on TikTok or something, and I put it on my social media, got like 125,000 views in one day or something. The fuck, So I didn't interact with them. Yeah, congratulations to those guys.
Well, that's awesome. And it's funny you mentioned too QT Marshall, because at Full Gear, AEW Full Gear, Big Boom AJ is fighting QT Marshall in a match.
Yes, because the father, I guess he's the father or something. He was a former wrestler or does something. He still looks great. He's an older guy, he's not old, but in his 40s or whatever. He looks great, bodybuilder, and he's badass. And yeah, he's doing all kind of stuff. He does stuff with football players. He does stuff anyway, follow him. Look for him on TikTok. They got millions and millions of views.
Yeah, it's a fun thing to watch. They got Big Justice, who's one of the kids, and then the Rizzler, who's the kid, and then Big Boom AJ. It's fun stuff. I didn't know who they were either, Fonzie. And then
I didn't have a fucking clue.
You had no clue, but I saw them on Jimmy Fallon because he was promoting the match.
Oh yeah, it was great.
Yeah. And it was great stuff. It's just a fun little thing. So be sure to check it out. And they've been doing some good work with AEW promoting this match. So definitely keep tabs on them. It's fun stuff. So wanted to ask you that before we close it out too. So good stuff here. But hey, guys, we'll plan for so next week, obviously, is Thanksgiving. So maybe after the week after, we'll be back. Does that sound good to you, Fonzie? Will you be available?
Yeah. The day after Thanksgiving's on the 28th on Thursday. Then Friday I leave on a 4-day tour with Sandman in Pennsylvania. Then I'll be back. So the following week or so is fine with me.
Heck yeah. So we'll plan for 2 weeks from now, that week coming up. So be on the lookout. Stay tuned on all the social media channels, and go to Real 1TS on X, and we'll make an announcement on there and stuff like that, so you can check it out and everything.
Oh yeah. And hopefully we continue to entertain you guys like we're entertaining over 6,000 people this week, and last week or 2 weeks ago we had 7,000 people. Man, makes me feel good, guys, and I'm trying to do my best for you guys.
Yeah, Fonzie, you're nailing it, man. It's great stuff. So yes. So guys, we'll see you next time here on Right Down the Middle with Fonzie, Bill Alfonso.
That's right. I want to say something real important. Give a shout out to my tall, beautiful, blonde Hungarian wife who I'm in love with. I love you, babe. And thanks to all the 6,600 people listening tonight. I won't forget you, Daddy. See you soon. Wrap it up, Dominic.
All right. See you guys next time. Hi, Christina. See you guys.